We tend to think the director calls the shots on a movie set. But what happens when the cameras stop rolling and a sudden battle for control shatters the entire production? If you want more forensic breakdowns of the entertainment industry's most high-profile legal wars, make sure to hit subscribe. On paper, It Ends With Us was a massive box office success. It looked like a career peak for the entire cast and crew. On one side, you have the film's star, Blake Lively, along with her husband Ryan Reynolds, a powerhouse couple with serious industry leverage. On the other side is director and co-star Justin Baldoni, whose production company originally secured the creative rights to the project. But this First Amended Complaint reveals what was actually happening behind the smiles. Baldoni's team alleges Lively used threats and extortion in a systematic effort to hijack the film. This message shows where friction started. Lively wanted raw footage, but Baldoni pushed back, explaining he needed uninterrupted time to assemble his cut. Lively wasn't taking no for an answer. She immediately followed up with this message, questioning if she was the only producer excluded. In a separate group chat, you can see the panic setting in among the production team. One producer advises saying no, but nervously adds that they better check her contract first. They had reason to be nervous. Lively eventually brought in her own editors to replace the film's existing team, and swapped out the award-winning composer for one who regularly worked on Ryan Reynolds' recent projects. Sony ultimately backed Lively's demands. They even enforced a rule that prevented Baldoni from viewing her newly edited version of the film. This power struggle illustrates how vulnerable a director's vision actually is when an A-list star decides to flex their contractual muscle. The conflict escalated far beyond editing choices. Lively lodged a serious accusation, claiming Baldoni's team showed her a video on set that she described as pornography, specifically calling it a video of a fully nude woman. But this section of the legal filing tells a completely different story. Baldoni's team states the video in question was actually a brief clip of a producer's wife holding their newborn baby right after a natural home birth. To counter her claims, Baldoni released raw set footage. During a romantic scene, Lively is seen breaking character multiple times to apologize for the smell of her spray tan and body makeup, while Baldoni tries to keep them both in the moment. Baldoni's camp used this specific footage to argue that Lively was the one acting unprofessionally and disrupting the creative process. When relationships break down on a multi-million-dollar set, every awkward pause or personal conversation gets documented, reframed, and deployed as evidence against the other side. The battle eventually spilled into the press tour. Baldoni instructed his team to implement what he called a TikTok strategy, using domestic violence survivor stories as a Trojan horse to present an authentic, vulnerable public image. This approach was designed to explain why he wasn't doing press with the rest of the cast, while simultaneously seeding doubt in case Lively tried to leak negative stories about him. His team even discussed going on the offensive. This internal strategy document outlines a plan to plant stories accusing Lively of weaponizing feminism to bully her way into creative control. The document specifically suggests tying Lively to people in her inner circle, like Taylor Swift, arguing they use similar tactics to get what they want. We often see actors pouring their hearts out in interviews, but these strategy memos show how those seemingly raw moments are carefully engineered to win a PR war. In the end, the two stars reached a settlement. Neither actor walked away with a financial profit from the dispute, but the legal teams reportedly took home $60 million in fees. Despite the massive box office returns, the creative partnership is permanently broken, leaving the future of the entire franchise completely up in the air. A contract might say a director has final cut, but a major star has the leverage to overwrite those agreements and reshape a production to their liking. Both Lively and Baldoni spent months trying to convince the public they were the hero protecting the film's message. The leaked texts and legal filings show a much uglier reality about how power is actually wielded behind the scenes. Based on the evidence, who do you think actually won this narrative war? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.